Hey, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I want to talk a little bit about last night's SmackDown, August the 7th, 2020, and what I thought about the new faction that, it debuted on Raw last Monday. They showed up on SmackDown towards the end of the show, and apparently they have a name now, Retribution, which I think is kind of stupid, but you know, that's the name they came up with. They mentioned the faction uh, in the beginning of the show when they did the dirt sheet segment with Miz and Morrison. Uh, their mics cut. They did the dirt sheet segment with Sonya Deville, and their mics cut off, and they said it was the Retribution. So I knew immediately that it was going to be the faction that destroyed the power grid on Raw was going to be here on SmackDown. And basically, for those that didn't see it, what they did was come out with lead pipes and they chased members of the audience away. And they beat down this one woman. Obviously, the audience is not a real audience, they're NXT trainees. But they beat down this one woman. What I would want to know is who is this Retribution? Obviously, by the name selling, it has to be somebody that was in the WWE before and is coming back to the company to get revenge on the current roster of WWE. It was like I think it was like two women and three men, and they beat up this woman, and they were all dressed in masks, and then they spray painted the glass, um, the glass veneer that's covering the uh, covering where the trainees sit and where the wrestlers wrestle. They spray painted it and they chainsawed the ropes. So it kind of reminded me of like an NWO type takeover or a Nexus type takeover or the Shield. Various things. Some people said that it reminded them a little bit of AEW and what AEW did with the Dark Order, what TNA did back in the day with Aces and Eights, a takeover angle. But we don't know. The thing is, we don't know who these people are. We don't know if they're current members of the roster or former members of the roster. I think it would make sense if they did former members of the roster because um like if they do current members of the roster, the name doesn't make sense. What are they getting revenge for? What are they getting retribution for? For what? You know what I mean? They had to have been screwed over by WWE management in some way, storyline wise, to be coming back getting revenge or retribution. This is why they're called retribution. So it'd be interesting to see what they do Monday night on on Raw, if they perpetrate another attack, and if they invade the Raw Underground competition. And maybe they'll clash with Hurt Business somehow. Other things that happen on SmackDown, with the other main storyline. Well, one of the main event was Miz and Morrison versus Heavy Machinery. But I consider the main storyline the SmackDown Women's Championship uh, storyline with Bayley. It was announced that this Monday night on Raw there'll be a inter-brand battle royal to determine the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam. And also, it was announced that Asuka will be taking on Sasha Banks at SummerSlam as well. Prepare for Sasha Banks to possibly lose the Raw Women's Championship, which doesn't bother me at all because it inevitably will set up for a Bayley and Sasha match at WrestleMania 37, perhaps. That's what they got to do. They got to build slowly. So each week, you want to see what's going to happen next. And that's what they got to do with Sasha and Bayley. That's what they got to do with Raw Underground. And that's what they got to do with Retribution. Is make you want to see what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next. Give it to you in pieces. Don't give it to you all like that because if you see it on free TV, then you're not going to want to see it on pay-per-view come SummerSlam. Also, Braun Strowman, who was the Universal Champion, did a promo with Bray Wyatt. Most likely, Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt will be the main event for the SmackDown Men's Championship. Yeah, not really interested in that. Just like on Raw with the WWE title. The main men's title is, I don't know, fucking doesn't interest me at all. I liked Braun Strowman. Like 3 years ago when he was turning over cars in a feud with Roman Reigns, and that was the time to really pull the trigger with him, but they didn't. So his time is past, really, in my opinion. So unless they can figure him in somehow to this dark this Retribution storyline and give him new life, then we'll see. But as a Universal Champion, no, it doesn't really work for me. They're still running with this Otis Mandy Rose shit from WrestleMania. They're still going with Big E's single push out of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods out of the running. But they're still doing that. Yeah, but let me know what you guys think about the new faction. Who's possibly the members? Maybe Brock, maybe Ronda Rousey, maybe Roman Reigns. People that we would know that haven't been on TV for a while. See, because what made the NWO so great back in the day was that not only did Kevin Nash and Scott Hall come from WWE into WCW, when Hulk Hogan was the third man and he turned on Macho Man and Lex Luger and Sting and the sixth man at Bash the Beach 96, he was off TV for 3 months. The last time he'd have been seen on TV was when they did when the Dungeon of Doom and the Four Horsemen teamed up to destroy Hulkamania in February of 96. So you got to do it with somebody that's on TV, off TV, and do it with main event players. That's why I think they went wrong with the Nexus in 2010, was that they didn't use main event guys. or main event women. They didn't use women at all, but they didn't use main event players. You got to use the main event players, otherwise it's not relevant. People are saying, well, it's Ricochet or it's Mustafa Ali. Ricochet, Mustafa Ali, these are people that we see all the time on Raw. Why would they, storyline wise, want to be getting retribution on current WWE stuff? It doesn't make sense. I mean, Mustafa Ali just came back. Why would he want to? Why would they want to turn him heel? He was technically he was supposed to be the guy that won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 25. I mean 35 rather. Not Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston was inserted at the last minute and then put into the title picture. So why would they want to do him? Why would they want to do Ricochet? Ricochet, to me, works as a babyface. And a babyface only. He's the Superman of WWE. Why would they want to turn him into a heel? You know what I mean? Like, they turned Hulk Hogan into a heel because Hulk Hogan at the time in 1996 was stale. He'd been a heel for like 9 years already. He turned a heel back in 83, 84. He'd already been a heel for over a decade. So, I mean, a babyface over a decade. He was stale. And he never been a heel in WCW ever. So, it wouldn't be cool to turn Ricochet to a face. I mean, to a heel. It wouldn't be cool to turn Mustafa Ali. These are babyface characters. I can't see like Mustafa Ali. If they turn him into a heel, he'll just be the regular like Muhammad Hassan, Iron Sheik type Middle Eastern character. That's a heel. What makes Mustafa Ali different is that he's a Middle Eastern wrestler, a Middle Eastern character that's a babyface. The third main event, the NXT main event, I think that they're going to go with for SummerSlam is Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole. Pat McAfee's this football player apparently that's feuding with Adam Cole that they're trying to make it like it's a shoot. Obviously, it's a work. And that's going to be a special attraction for SummerSlam. They still don't know where they're going to have SummerSlam, at the Performance Center or on a boat or something. But we just got to wait and see. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. If you like to hear talk about wrestling or talk about current entertainment stuff. And hit the bell button so you can get notifications on when I come out with my newest videos. Peace.